watching the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening all. I'm Shoshana Rolfe-Farquharson. As always, it is so great to have you with us. Topping news in just a few days, the Grand Lucayan Resort is expected to be officially purchased by Royal Caribbean International. The investment that is worth some $200 million is good news for many Grand Bahamians, including those in the tourism industry. In this report, straw vendors from the Port Lucayan marketplace are expressing optimism about the project. Italia Hall has more.
I really hope this deal go through. Tired waiting.
That's the mood of most vendors in the Port Lucayan marketplace. These vendors say they are eagerly anticipating the official sale of the Grand Lucayan Resort. In its heyday, the property on the Lucayan Strip included 3 hotels, a casino, and a golf course that provided a steady flow of business to the nearby Port Lucayan marketplace, and vendors are hoping that those days will return soon.
It's a great news for the area. We were expecting it to be sold a very long time ago, but now on March 2nd, we hope that it's final.
Port Lucayan marketplace, I think, employ more people than any place else in Grand Bahama, and we all are hurting. The restaurants, the straw vendors, everybody is hurting in Port Lucayan, so we need the hotel to open.
It's very slow and depressing. For days, sometimes we don't make $1. You understand? We come out here every day to try and carry home money to our family, to feed our family, and it's rough.
Vendors Gloria McPhee and Mitzvah Pennerman say the reopening of the casino will also help to fuel a turnaround.
The casino bring in plenty revenue in this country, and the island don't even have a casino. So if the casino in Port Lucayan could open, we would appreciate that greatly.
I had a tourist ask today that they were here 7 years ago, and they came today to actually see the casino, and there's no casinos.
McPhee says she is also concerned about tourists having proper access to the beach.
We have the tourists come from the cruise ship, and when they come from the cruise ship, they send them in the back of the police station. I don't know if you see that. I don't think that area is fit for tourists to go. So when they open the hotel, I hope government will put in that the tourists could access the beach from that hotel, because they spend too much money.
Now the signing for the sale of the Grand Lucayan Resort is expected to take place on March 2nd. Italia Hall, ZNS Network News.
The president and CEO of the Grand Bahama Power Company, Dave McGregor, giving an update on power in the East. The power company's infrastructure that was destroyed by Hurricane Dorian in that district. McGregor says that they are making progress, and he is pleased with the work that has been done thus far.
We've been in that area now solidly for the last 3 weeks or so, and the crews have made remarkable progress. So we've got generation in at the Equinor site, next door to the Equinor site. So we're ready to power them whenever they're ready to receive. And we've built the transmission line all the way back from Equinor to High Rock. We've got some distribution cable to put in there. We ran short of cable because the guys are working so fast. But that's been sorted now, and you know, I'm looking forward to getting some lights on in High Rock in the next couple of weeks.
Street lights was also another major concern for residents of Grand Bahama. The CEO giving this update.
In Freeport, we have about a little under 5,000 street lights in Freeport and the West. Currently, we've re-energized or relit all but 200 of them. We're working on the last 200 now. We're doing what we call the second sweep, actually third sweep through neighbourhoods now. Ones that we've missed, ones that have gone out since we repaired them. So, you know, we made really good progress. What I would urge customers, if there is a streetlight out in their neighbourhood, is give our customer care centre a call, because maybe it has been missed, because we're down to the last couple of hundred now. And similarly, night guard lights, if you have a personal night guard light, again, we're just getting to those now. We're only about half done on those, so another couple of weeks we should have got the majority of the night guard lights, but make sure we know that your night guard light's out.
Switching gears now, Hurricane Dorian's death toll continues to rise 5 months after the catastrophic storm made landfall in the northern Bahamas. Abaco police confirming that the remains of 3 unidentified bodies were recently found. That's 1 in the unregulated area of the Mud and 2 on Powerline Road. Prior to this, the remains of another unidentified body was found in Grand Bahama, bringing the total thus far to 74. Of that figure, Abaco accounts for 63 and Grand Bahama 11. As for those still missing, authorities advise that all inquiries be made to the Central Detective Unit in Grand Bahama and in New Providence and at the Abaco Police Station in the government complex in Marsh Harbor. Well, the president of the Grand Bahama Christian Council, who is a leader in the Assemblies of God, leading a delegation to the island of Abaco. The team was able to get a first-hand view of hurricane recovery efforts. Megan Shepard reports.
President of the Grand Bahama Christian Council, Reverend Dr. Robert Lockhart, traveling to the island of Abaco recently, along with 2 ministers of Calvary Temple Assemblies of God and a representative of a non-governmental agency. The purpose, a fact-finding mission.
We went over to look at our churches and to look at some of our fellow churches and members and see what's happening there. And also the Abaco Christian Council was able to talk with some of their leaders also and see some of the challenges that they have. And well, the churches, there, many more of them have been damaged than we have, and many pastors are no longer on the island and have now staying in New Providence. And so even there's a lack in that area also. And so, but we thank God for the pastors that are there and the churches that are there that are still continuing to help people and provide leadership along with many others in the community.
Reverend Lockhart says that this was his first visit since the storm, and he was taken aback by the devastation, particularly in the central settlements and the business district of Central Abaco.
The seed, even 5 months later, can tell you the amount of devastation that have taken place there, the amount of people that are no longer on the island. You see that there's a lot of people still to return, and people need to return to be able to build back. Some things would have to be totally rebuilt, but Freeport, not Freeport, Abaco, you can see that their damages is even beyond Grand Bahama, and so we need to keep them in prayer and keep encouraging them. Many of the people from Abaco are dispersed between the Bahamas and I guess the United States or Florida area, and so they have a long way to go.
He says that while progress is being made, residents are expressing that they feel it is too slow. He says local leaders are calling for more persons to return home and assist in the rebuilding efforts.
Of course, they're also asking, hey, they need people from Abaco to come back to Abaco to rebuild. But of course, the challenge is housing and where people are going to stay. And in many areas, there's still no electricity. And when it's like that, it's a whole lot more difficult for people. But the people that are there, they're working, they're making the best of it, and they're moving forward and helping one another and pulling together. And also their NGOs, they're on the ground also. And some of them, they're here in Grand Bahama and also in Abaco. So we say thank you to them and to all of the community leaders and in every aspect working together.
He is encouraging all residents to continue to be their brother's keeper and assist each other as much as possible.
Grand Bahama, Abaco, let's work together. Some persons have been hit harder than others. And so while we're working at getting ourselves together, at the same time, we want to be helping someone else. I don't think there's any time for someone to say, hey, my situation is so bad, I don't need to help someone. I think it's time that even though we're working at our churches and our businesses and our homes, at the same time, we want to help other churches and help our neighbors and help other communities as we all work together to get our communities together, our homes together, our businesses together, our churches together, because all of that is a part of getting the whole community together.
Megan Shepard, ZNS Network News.
In news from the crime beat, 2 men taken to court today in connection with the murder of 22-year-old Fritzon Kersaint that occurred near a popular shopping center in Caravel Beach over the weekend. 27-year-old Ricardo Jones of number 44 Stratford Way was charged with abetment to commit murder, and 21-year-old Tyreek Antonio Mallory of number 47 Scott Avenue was arraigned on the charge of murder before Magistrate Rangan Johnson. They both were not required to enter a plea, and the matter was adjourned to May 19, 2020. The matter is expected to proceed by a voluntary bill of indictment. Meantime, a man is fighting for his life after being shot over in Abaco early this morning. Police telling us that a group of men were outside a home in Central Pines just before 4 a.m. when a gunman opened fire. The shooting ended with one man being taken to the Marsh Harbor Clinic in critical condition. The hunt is now on for the gunman.